Mike Swift, I want to move
Why is that?
for a change of scenery and not the usual change of scenery. I want to live someplace where I don't have a creepy old lady in a minivan that sits out inside of my apartment for hours at a time listening to a bad classic rock station.
Yeah, still hanging around, is she?
Oh my God.
You know, you should
Shut-
invite her over to your place.
No,
Throw on throw on some of that Marvin Gaye.
absolutely. I'm sorry. Marvin is not available.
No, but Steven is.
Oh, he's not. He's not even.
We are two old radio guys with nothing really to do other than
Bitch.
to complain about the world.
Absolutely. So,
Sometimes we talk radio and music, but you know.
what's funny is I was going to, like, there's so much of me that wants to get, like, really political right now because I'm very irritated with about 1,000 things that are going
You
on.
say that every week.
I know, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to talk about
Yeah.
the difference between money and happiness, which is interesting because everything in our government and our country right now is clearly governed and ruled by money. If you don't believe that, then you're just a clueless moron. But, and yes, I
Harsh but true.
facts. But I was talking to my stepdad, and I've been in various stages in my life where, some of which recently, where I have worked and worked and worked and worked, and you look at your paycheck and you realize that it's not enough to cover what your monthly bills are. And you wonder how you're going to get, what do you do to get through that? And then there's the other side of that where, you know, like the money is the least of your problems. And I do believe there's a difference between being rich and being comfortable. And I think that's because rich is you got stupid money, you can do whatever you want and you don't even think about it when you do it. Comfortable is knowing that, hey, if I need to spend $1,000 on my car, I spend $1,000 on my car and I don't bat an eyelash about it. You know what I mean? I don't wonder how I'm going to pay 10 other bills because of that. That's comfort. And I think it's different though, because I think there are a lot of people, myself included, who you work jobs and all you're getting out of it is a paycheck. And I know we've talked about radio before a lot, but radio is the one thing that I knew I never looked at doing it for money. I was always
Mm-hmm.
someone who did that for love of the game because it was fun. It was cool. I felt good about it. I liked doing it. And I was talking with my stepdad, and he's like, and he was, Bob is the greatest guy in the world because Bob will tell you the truth regardless of how many times you don't want to hear it. And he said the other day, because I'm in a situation where, and I've got to decide sooner or later, do I do something? Do I keep the status quo or do I do something and hope that it's going to make me happy? Now, will the job itself would make me happy? Yes, but I don't know, you know, if it's what I necessarily want. So, like, do I keep swimming in the same stream while I'm comfortable from a money standpoint, or do I choose happiness? And I think that's where, like, I'm a big people observer, and I've been doing it a lot, probably more so in the last couple of years than ever. There's a big difference between living and existing. And I think existing are the people who are, you're going to work and you're working three jobs to try to make ends meet. What kind of life is that at the end of the day? Probably not a good one, because you're working yourself into an early grave and you don't have much to show for it. So there's that. But then there's the other side of that where, okay, cool, you've got comfort money, but you're not really happy. I was joking with Bob and I said, what excited me the other day is that my credit score went up 17 points and that I paid a bill 4 days early. Like it's not a life. Like there's nothing fun about that. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing fun about that. There's nothing that's anything to look forward to or do
Hmm.
anything. And I think that's where like I think it kind of sucks right now. And I think I'm probably not the only one in that necessarily in that position, but it's just finding joy in what you do. And I wish that I really wish like I there's a lot of people that have like either gotten out of radio by choice or gotten out of radio, without having a choice. But I get excited when I see someone that's able to either reinvent themselves or find something that they love just as much and that they can be content doing that because I don't know
Hmm.
what that feels like. And I wish I did.
Mm.
And I'm a little bit jealous about that. So, like, that's the thing, like, and when it comes to the what's on my mind about choosing money over happiness, there were a lot of years where I didn't choose money, I chose happiness because I just like was really content in the situation and I was fine. And then I remember Indianapolis was the first time that I chose money. And even still, when that was all working itself out, I wasn't necessarily, I'll never forget the day that I wasn't necessarily 100% going to take it because at the time I was assisting with the care of children. And I think we were going to buy school clothes or more school clothes or something along those lines. And we were in the car talking. They're like, "Are you going to leave?" And I was like, "No." I said, "Most likely they're going to nickel or dime me for an extra like 4 or 5 grand more a year. And I can hustle my way towards that without leaving. So, no, I wouldn't leave." And literally, like divine intervention, my email went off and it was my offer was in my email. And I was like, I opened it and I'm like, this is $25,000 a year more than I'm making now. We're going to have a family discussion. And I chose money. But the second time around, when I went to Columbus, I was drastically underpaid, but I chose happiness. And in some cases, I was saying neither one of those works out. And I think it's tough to figure out. Like I wish I had the capability and the knowledge to go into my to business for myself because there are people who have gone that route that control their own destiny. They make their own money. They are their own boss and they find that kind of happiness that I think eludes people like me. And that's kind of what's on my mind. I don't know, having failed at both, I don't know whether to choose what the right choice to make is. Do you choose money or do you choose happiness? And that's where, because I know, and you and I can attest to this. You go back 20 years, you and I were very happy and didn't make a shit ton of money to show for it.
That's facts.
So, like, you can be happy at both, I think. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's possible to be happy and have money, and be content and comfortable all at once. But it's a tough balancing. It's a tough juggling act, if you will. Um, there aren't very many of us who get out of radio and find happiness comparable to what the business brought us. There are very few people that I can think of that are doing things that they're completely 100% happy doing, that are no longer in the business. Um, Hell, our friend SPK just tapped out and now doing
Yeah, but
something that he
yeah,
appears
but
to
he gets to eat
he
food for a living.
exactly. But that's my point. He found something that makes him happy, which we all know. You and I both knew he loved food.
Sure.
He was a foodie, but it made sense for him to do that. He's doing like it's like a video blog of different food in different places. And that's awesome. That's awesome for him. Like I'm 100% happy for him. There's not I cannot think of a lot of different stories where someone either by choice or otherwise got out of the business and found something that made them 100% happy.
I can't. I used to do a I used to do a film blog and movie reviews all the time. I did them on the air a lot, but I also did them for
Yeah.
various other sites. And
Hmm.
when Indianapolis ended, I looked at maybe doing that because I still, had the ability to do it and everything. But like it was just to the point where I'm like, well, yeah, there it was that point where you're like, yeah, I would really like to do this, but my problem is I have to still at the time I had a Jeep payment that wasn't going to pay itself. And it was just one of those things where I'm like, I couldn't make enough doing it. And if I would have done it full time, it would essentially be working like for 100% commission. I would only get paid if my review or article reached so many clicks or so many. And I'm like, yeah, no. I'm like, because it's so oversaturated now. Like, it's
Hmm.
like, I do kind of, there's one thing I do get pissed about. The company we used to work for before they were bought by a different company was when we were working for right at the heart of like when the boom started for like internet and podcasting and everything else. And I remember being pissed off because I had it in my contract that I could not do any kind of like video or video. I mean, we would call them podcasts now. I don't know what you would call them then, but I could not do YouTube videos or podcasting or anything like that that wasn't directly affiliated with the station, which kind of pissed me off because it kind of like didn't let me open that window fast enough.
Yeah, it put you in a box. Yeah.
Yeah. So I couldn't do any. So like that kind of sucked. And then even when I was working for another company that we worked for, I would get yelled at if I would do a film blog because it had to go through the station site and it had to get directed through the app and through everything else. And I'm like, no, because you're going to bury my shit in the app because I'm not the guy you're paying $12 million a year to, to be talent.
Hmm.
Like, so like it wasn't, which is on purpose why I didn't go through the app, like kind of thing. And it
Right.
so, but it's like I wish, and now like all that stuff is encouraged, and I'm like, where was that 10 years ago? Like I would have appreciated it now.
Yeah. I'm kicking myself. I remember the day you told me as my program director to start a podcast. And I
Yeah,
remember going, what the hell's a podcast? It was just like, I don't even know what to like. I have no idea what I have no idea what a podcast is, and B, I have no idea what to do a podcast about, not knowing what a podcast was at the time.
no, and I think a lot of people
And it
think.
was,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead. No, go ahead, go
No,
ahead.
you first. Please finish.
All I was going to say is that at that time there was nobody doing
Correct.
podcasts.
That's where I was
And
going.
that's what sucked about like looking back.
Yeah,
I could have I possibly could have been, a front runner or at least
exactly.
done something with it,
That's what I
I
said.
mean,
Like when you're talking about doing it at that time, you could have brought your audience with you because
yep,
nobody else was doing it. And now stuff is so
exactly.
saturated, it's harder to bring your audience with you. And the thing about radio, and this is probably one of radio's detriments, I don't care who you are, unless you're named Howard Stern or somebody that's on that level. When you leave a certain place, everyone will tell you how much they're going to miss you and how much, I'll never forget you. The amount of people that actually are still there and still follow you are so few as opposed to the audience you're reaching while you're on that station. Like it's just fact. It just is what it is. Like nobody is bigger than the entity that they work for from a radio.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Oh, definitely. Now I had some people that did follow me
Oh, I still do.
when I left.
That's what I'm saying. I still do. Like, there's a lot of people that listen to me in various places that I still am in contact with. They still say nice things
Hmm.
on a regular basis. But what I'm saying is that number of people that do that compared to the overall people that
Oh
I
yeah, I agree.
we're talking to on a regular basis is just not even close from a number standpoint.
Yeah, I'm not taking my 12 share with me
Correct. Exactly.
to, to whichever city I move to. Yeah, it's not happening.
And it's just it's kind of like I just wish that you were able to find something that was that much fun and that much that you were packed, because I'm a person where if I love what I'm doing, I will work very hard at it. In fact, I will probably work too hard at it. I will put way more time
Yep,
into it. Like that's what people
me
never
too.
realize. And I had like asshole bosses that sometimes didn't understand. And I'm like, you don't see all the stuff that I do when I'm not in front of you. Like there's times when
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
especially during the pandemic when I was by myself, because I was stuck in a 1 bedroom apartment and everything in the world was shut down. And like everybody that I was normally encountering and living with was 2 hours away. There are times where I would be bored because I'm like, well, I can't watch anything else. And I know it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to start working again because I had nothing else to do. So I would work and work and work. And I never complained about it because I liked doing it. But if it's something that I don't like, oh, are you kidding me? I'm like, how much time until I'm done? Okay, cool. You get 6 hours out of me and I'm done. Like that was it. Like
Hmm.
that's just how I am. But if I love, like even like doing, like if I'm doing a wedding or I have a corporate party that I'm doing next week, I will put so much time and effort into that because I like doing it as opposed to,
Right.
something I don't like. And I wish I didn't have that mentality either. Like I wish there are people I am envious of the people who just can get up like and go to work and do what they got to do and work hard and everything else, because like I don't I'm not built that way. I work very
Me
hard
either.
if I like it. If I don't like it, you get the bare minimum from me, and I'm not ashamed to admit that,
Hmm.
which
Yep.
makes me a
I
lazy
am the same way.
POS. I get it. So anyway,
I'm I'm okay with that.
yeah, so that's what's on my mind: money or happiness, and the pursuit of both, I guess.
It's possible to have both. Um, I think for you, um, I think your pursuit of happiness
Is an endless
is
quest. It's like the damn Ark of the Covenant. I'll never find it.
I think you and as corny and as I don't know, like zen as it sounds, I think you need to find happiness within yourself because as your friend, I think once you learn to find that inner happiness, the rest will be fine.
I don't disagree
It,
with you.
it, it and I think that's something that I would love to see you find because once you do, I truly think the rest the dust will settle in your life.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that statement at all. I think that's 100% correct. So, but I've also like, I think as jaded as I am, especially both personally and career wise over the last couple of years, I don't know if this were 10 or 15 years ago, I'd have made the leap without thinking, without even looking. I'd have been like, yep,
Yeah.
let's do it. Now I'm like, all right, cool. If I can navigate down to that ledge and then I can climb a little bit further there, like I don't want to take the leap anymore because it just like, it's not worked out the right way more times than not. And that's the frustrating part. Like, I wish the younger me would come kick the older me in the balls and be like, dude, who are you now? Like kind of thing.
Um, yeah, well, I think
Selfish and
though,
irresponsible me was a much better person, despite which is I know is usually the opposite for people, but for me, selfish and irresponsible me was like the better version of me.
yeah, well, but I think though at that point in time you had better inner peace with yourself. And I think that's kind of my point is I truly think whether you made a decision to jump on an opportunity or not, you're not going to be happy until you find that peace within yourself.
Agreed. I do not disagree with you.
I think no matter what choices you make in life, you're going to be unhappy until you are able to turn that corner.
Yep, I would agree with that. I think that's a fair assessment. So, you know, but I'm like, I'm a therapist's worst nightmare because I'll sit down and tell you every one of my flaws and know what's wrong with me, and then be like, "Yep, not going to take your advice." But thanks, because I already know.
That's kind of where my that's kind of where my therapist is with me. He's told me that I'm a very self-aware patient of his, client of his. But yeah, you know, actually doing the things he wants me to do is that's a whole nother
Absolutely.
story.
Oh, I'm 1,000%. It's the way I am. It's like I'm like, don't you don't need to insult me. I know every one of my flaws. You're not going to offend me by bringing them up to me. Like it is what it is. Like I'm very
Yeah.
100% know what's I know exactly what's wrong with me. I just choose, you know, probably not taking the right steps to fix it, but I'm
Yep.
also, if nothing else, very stubborn. So,
Yep, I'm the same way.
anyway,
I'm the same way.
enough about
I know what
me.
I need to do to fix it, but I just can't
Exactly.
bring myself to get there. Yeah.
Enough
So,
about me. What's on your mind?
well, I think you kind of know what's on my mind.
Gay bathhouse?
But I'm not gonna. What?
What?
Did
No,
you say bathhouse?
I said yeah, absolutely.
Why, Steven? Why
I
would you be?
was just
Why would you be mentioning a bathhouse?
no,
Is that what's truly on your mind, sir?
no particular reason.
Because I mean, this is we'll just lay the cards on the table here. This is the third time that you've mentioned a bathhouse to me today.
This is true because I was joking with you earlier. I was joking.
Uh-huh.
I was joking with
Are
young
you
Michael earlier, and he was. I don't remember what brought up the subject, but I was like, you know what? I'm like, you know what you should do? You should make an appointment at a gay bathhouse. You'll feel better. I'm like, if you need acceptance, I hear that's where you could go. Church, Walmart, and a gay bathhouse. All of the three will give you that acceptance that you're looking for.
and Stephen, what was my response to that?
You went to Walmart.
No, I asked you, how is it that you are such an expert on on these topics?
There's no good,
How are you so knowledgeable?
response to that.
Yeah. No,
Anyway,
that was a non-response, which was a perfect
exactly.
response to that.
Exactly. All right. So let's talk about your what's on your mind. Your let me see if I can guess.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can guess. Your medical situation that you're still not able to wrap your hands around.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gotten any better, boys and girls. It's and I don't want to be that guy that sits here and, complains about his medical issues but I guess in a sense I am. It's just baffling to me what's going on. And what's more baffling is I really can't seem to get somebody to help me.
Yeah,
It's um
that would be frustrating. That part is frustrating.
I think that's what has been probably the most frustrating about all of this is, going to the hospital 3 times in 2 weeks and, you know, and I even told the attending doctor that I spoke to when I went back to the hospital last night. Um, yeah, I don't look at this like an episode of House. You're not gonna miraculously come up with, you know, what's wrong with me in a matter of a couple of hours. I understand that. It's just
Right.
that the problem is that something is going on with my body and I don't understand what, and I think really for me, the pressure is coming more from my employer, because I have to justify why I can't keep up, and I have nothing to show for it, you know?
Right. Well, because you also can't get a concrete answer to know what to, you know.
Right. Like my job says, "Hey, we're willing to, cut you a break. You just need some kind of documentation from a doctor."
Hey,
And
this is what's going on. This is what,
yeah,
yeah.
and that's where the problem is nobody can figure out what's going on so that they can do that for me. And so I'm just I'm stuck in this weird in between. Um it's scary, you know?
Sure. Absolutely it is. Not knowing what's going on is the worst part of all of that because you don't know, you can't come up with a plan if you don't know what to plan for.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, like, I mean, I 100% understand that. Like, that's insanely frustrating. And I don't understand why. I don't know. But we also live in a world of, you know, I hate I hate doctors. I have to go to my neurologist next week, and I'm not necessarily looking forward to this. But at the same time, I also moved it closer, hoping that it will help me make different decisions because like I was supposed to wait till like the first part of June, but I've been kind of like, look, does 2 weeks really matter? Like honestly, what's
Right.
going to happen in 2 extra weeks? So like I got my appointment moved up, but I hate the medical industry in general. And I'm not slamming anybody who works in the medical industry. I know those people work really, really hard, especially the support staff
Hmm.
for the medical industry. But like I get
Yes.
frustrated all the time because I'm like, if I make an appointment at 9 o'clock, do not make me sit in the waiting room until 10:15. Like if you don't want to see me till 10:15, or if you're running behind, let me know you're running behind, or make my appointment for 10 o'clock. Don't make my appointment for 9 and make me sit there for an hour and 15 minutes. Like now you,
Yeah, but some of that is coming from the jerkhole that showed up late and has
I
a
know,
laundry list of issues, and
I know,
you know what I mean?
I
There are
get
things that
that.
happen in those situations.
But then like I'm the person that like I barely use my insurance, and I get frustrated because I'm someone who barely uses my insurance, but I pay into it every, year, every month, every check. And then when I do need something covered, like it's either not covered or I got to jump through 1,000 hoops to get it covered. And like that's frustrating too.
Yeah, but that's by design. As somebody that used to work for the insurance company, that's definitely by design. You know,
I'm
that
sure it
that
is.
company that says, "We'll give you this huge discount on your bill every month, but you've got to show me this bill by such and such a date." And it's the same principle. They
Uh,
they 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 make you jump through hoops in hopes that at some point in time you will lose interest or forget and not follow through on what they need you to do or want you to do, and so that they can
right.
go, "Huh, sorry,
Oh
you
yeah.
didn't meet your end of the bargain."
Right. Exactly. No, I know, and that's the frustrating part of it. I get it, but it's just kind of one of those things. So, what have you decided what you're going to do in the meantime? Because you're kind of
It- there's not much I can do other than just continue to go through the process as I'm directed. Now I did set an appointment with a neurologist, and the earliest appointment that I could get originally was in August,
Jesus.
and that does me no good. And I was it's funny. I was just kind of explaining the situation to my manager today. She and I were working together today, and my phone rings, and it's another neurologist, a different neurologist from who I originally made the appointment with, and said they can get me in next Thursday. So, that's a plus. Um, but
It's the same. That's the same day as my appointment.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
But in the meantime, it's just one of those things that things are still happening to me. I'm sleeping way too much, but not feeling rested, and um, it's scary. It's
hmm
scary. It's hindering me from doing work. It's hindering me from feeling like a human being.
yeah,
Um, but it's given me a lot of chance to reflect on a lot of things. And I guess for me, um, it's maybe decide that, I'm just gonna that I want to do my best to just live, have fun, and smile and be happy and be in the moment and be as present as I possibly can, because there may come a point in time where I may not have that luxury any longer.
absolutely.
So, um, it's just what's on my mind is the fact that mortality is a thing.
Absolutely, it is.
Um, Not that I didn't know that or wasn't aware of it. Um, because of course, as you get older, your body
Does.
reminds you of that.
hmm
But more so this last month that I've been reminded that my mortality is
Yep.
not, forever.
No, I think
Um,
that's very real. And I think like that's kind of similar to where my happiness or money thing, circling it all back around, comes into play. I want to be able to do what makes me happy while I can, because there will probably
yes.
come a time, and that time will probably come sooner than later, that I won't be
Mm-hmm.
able to. And I'm not the kind of person that, you know, like I don't know, like I without diving into too much. I understand where you're coming from though. Like I think we generally take a lot of things for granted because you until something
Yes.
happens, you tend to think that you'll be able to do what you're doing or what you want to do or be around who you want to be around with for as long as you want to, and that's just unfortunately not the case. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just doesn't work that way. Like
I've taken a lot of life for granted, for sure.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, 1000% I have. And then you look back and you go, okay, cool. You have more days behind you than you do in front of you. And you really just did not, I don't know, enjoy things as much as you probably should have. Or I wouldn't say enjoy, but maybe appreciated things as much as you probably
Mm-hmm.
should have when you could have, because you just didn't think it was going to end. You never know when something's going to end, is the problem. So
Yeah.
it's tough to know, and I 100% understand where you're coming from on that one. Which I also think though it's a refreshing attitude to have though, because again, like time is finite. It's not infinite. So there's a big difference
Mm.
between living and existing. And I think
As
what
you
sucks
said, yeah.
these days though is a lot of people get caught up in, myself included, you need money to truly live. And I think that all depends on how you define living. Because for some people, yeah, okay, cool. I need vacations, cars, and, whatever I want. For other people, living is a happy home, kids, watching their kids succeed. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It depends on how you define it more so than,
But it's interesting because money doesn't really buy happiness, but at the same time, you need it in order to exist.
Correct. Exactly.
And you used to. I'm gonna throw one of your old phrases back at you. You
Is
used
it
to say
money?
this years ago.
Whoever
Yep,
said money
you were
can't buy
about to say it.
happiness, whoever said money can't buy happiness hasn't
Somebody
been shopping at the right
didn't.
malls.
Exactly. Yep, that
Unfortunately,
was it.
now it doesn't play as well because no one goes to malls anymore. But
Well, the way I remember you saying it was whoever said money didn't buy happiness didn't shop at the right stores.
yeah, that's fact. True.
And
That was right.
the
That was
caveat.
my other quote from that time was romance with no finance is a damn nuisance. So,
Oh my God! If I had ever heard you say that, I would have instantly forgotten the other quote. Like instantly. That is such a sleazeball quote. Like there's a manager that I currently that I would expect that from that guy.
no, there was a time where
the,
I
the
used to
guy
make
that would
sure
that you could sell snake oil to that would
uh,
that guy. Yeah,
there was a
that's the
time
guy
in
that I was
there was a time in my life where I made sure I was single around Valentine's Day, Christmas, and anything else, so I didn't have to buy presents or gifts or whatever. But now, like, the Vow with Channing Tatum will come on TV and I'll watch it and cry at the end, be like, oh, that kind of love is like, even though she didn't remember him, she fell in love with him again, and I'm here by myself. So yeah, you know,
That's the sad part is I can picture you doing that.
it did. I was literally sitting on the couch with the dog. I'm like, look, Peaches.
Yep, I was just gonna say Peaches sitting right there.
He's living and
Peaches is
we're
like
existing. So,
Peaches is just like, what is going on with Dad?
I don't know. She loses she loses her memory and falls in love with him all over again. Most of the people that I've encountered wish they could lose their memory and not remember. Oh well.
Oh, I can relate, brother. I can relate.
All right. Sooner or
uh,
later, hopefully everything, works itself out with I understand knowing how frustrated you are with everything. Like I get it. And I wish I could help more than I
my family's my family's had fun with it though. My
sure.
family, like Marcy said to me the other day, she's like, "I'm gonna tell you something, but you're probably gonna forget I said it to you anyway." I was like, "You're an ass."
Like
Thank you.
she
You're
replaced
probably gonna forget I said it.
she replaced your hemorrhoid cream with normal toothpaste.
Oh, that'd be evil. That'd be that.
So you're admitting to having hemorrhoid cream. God.
No, no, not at all. No, that is not. That is a no, and that was not what I was doing. He was simply relating that that would be an evil thing to do. Is instead of the warm sensation of the preparation H, you're getting the cold. Wow, yeah, that's wow, king of petty, brother.
I don't think
Yeah,
Sensodyne
you've
is
you
meant
you're
for that.
laughing. You're laughing as if you've done that before.
No, I've never done that. No, I've never done that before. I don't. I know people who've done who've replaced people. I don't. No, I won't do that. Like that's cruel. There's a limit. There's a
When I back in the day when I played football, it was a thing where guys would dip their fingers in icy hot,
Mhm.
and so that whenever there was a pile, like everybody the ball tackler gets tackled, and or the ball carrier gets tackled and everybody piles on, they would simply just rub their fingers across your forehead, and all they would have to do is just wait for the results. Like the icy hot would eventually mix in with your sweat and then eventually get into your eyes, and
You burn like hell.
it burn. It would
Oh,
burn. Like I
absolutely.
remember. I remember a guy that it happened to. We're on the sideline and he's just talking, and all of a sudden just started screaming like, what the and he's just, my eyes. And yeah, the trainer came over with water and um washed his eyes out, but yeah.
Yeah, it ain't pretty.
Anyway,
So.
no.
All right. Well, like, follow, all that good stuff. Communicate with us. Give my friend there some advice and some love
My
because
God, some real advice, and unlike Steven's
unlike
advice,
mine,
because
there's only so
his
much.
is never helpful.
I mean,
Yeah, your advice
who knows?
is entertaining.
There may be somebody out there that right now going, "Ooh, gay bathhouse. I'm gonna have to try that." So,
What is wrong with you?
it might fix all that ailed me. That
You're that was, my goodness, Steven.
So, for anybody else who doesn't want to try that, should you find yourself in a bathhouse and they're playing Madonna or techno, you might want to consider going
Oh
someplace.
my goodness.
Have a great week, and we will do this again sometime later.
I have so many questions for you off the record.